2023 was a somewhat turbulent year in Destiny 2, but that is all in the past and 2024 is here. Well, today I want to have a look ahead at what we can expect from Destiny 2 in 2024. There's some things we know and plenty that we don't. It is a huge year as we build up to the final shape and the closing chapter on the Light vs Darkness saga, and then we're going to find out what's next for the franchise that celebrates its 10th birthday this year. So let's dive deep into what to expect from Destiny 2 in 2024. Okay, let's start with the month that we're in right now, and that is January. So the seasonal storyline has concluded and we're settling into a very long season before the final shape, and that releases on June the 4th. So for me, this is a time to catch up on content. For example, I've been playing Warlock pretty much exclusively since Witch Queen, so it's time to go back and get Strand on my Titan and my Hunter. Make sure I get as much exotic armor as I can, try out some new builds, and perhaps chase and finish off a few titles. Well, next up we got February. So February is the first time we're seeing new content this year. So we've got something called Wishes coming, and these are a series of progression-centric, reward-driven weekly quests. Also, they are available for all players, and not just Season of the Wish owners. We've also got Moments of Triumph coming. This is all about commemorating players' achievements in-game from the last year, so it's likely we're going to retread some steps taken in Lightfall. I'm going to be keeping my expectations in check for both Wishes and Moments of Triumph, but it is always good to get that real-life t-shirt that is released alongside the Moments of Triumph event. Well, next up, let's have a look at March. So given the final shape has been delayed, Guardian Games have been moved up the calendar from May to March. Bungie have said Guardian Games are going to have some changes, and that includes some new class-based competition. But once again, I'm going to keep my expectations in check for this one, as I imagine 95% of Bungie staff are heads down and working on the final shape, making that the best expansion it can be. Well, next up we got April. So April is looking pretty interesting and perhaps a pivotal moment for Destiny 2. Now, first of all, we've got something called Into the Light coming. So Bungie describes this as an experience that's going to prepare players for their Guardian's journey into the Traveller. And that is also a feature available to all players and not just Season of the Wish players. Now, we've seen from the Final Shape showcase that we're getting new light-based supers. So I'd imagine this is going to be some attunement to the light as we prepare ourselves to venture into the Traveller and take down the Witness once and for all. So this content experience definitely has me interested. So I don't really know what it's going to be, but my expectations are slightly higher than everything that we're getting in January through March. So also in April, Bungie are coming back with new gameplay for the final shape, and this feels like another showcase kind of presentation. Now, the first final shape showcase didn't really do the business for Bungie, with not as many people pre-ordering the final shape as they would have liked. This was definitely one of the factors that led to the revenue target miss. And a reminder of that was missed by a huge 45%. I would imagine the goal of this showcase or Vidoc is to get people hyped for the final shape, as this really is where the hype needs to start building. You know, are we going to see that third Darkness subclass? And I think Bungie are going to pull out all the stops for this presentation. Well, next up we've got May, and this is where we see a significant content update for PvP players. So Bungie are releasing their PvP map pack, and I think this is the first time in a number of years that Bungie are releasing more than one map at a time. It used to be fairly standard for Bungie to release multiple maps with big expansions, but after the Activision split, multiple map releases were put on the back burner. So I want to say that the last time we got multiple PvP maps was back in 2018 with Forsaken, but I may be wrong, and let me know down in the comments what you think. Well, next up we got June, and June is a really big month. You know, perhaps the biggest month in the history of the Destiny 2 franchise, and this is likely going to decide the future. So if the final shape is good, or perhaps even up to the standard of Witch Queen, Forsaken and the Taken King, I think we can look forward to many years ahead of Destiny content. If, on the other hand, the final shape doesn't hit those standards, we could be in serious trouble. Now, we've got the Sword of Damocles held by Sony hanging above Bungie. Now, alongside the final shape, I imagine we're going to dispose of the Witness in the raid. Then we've got Episode 1 releasing at the same time. So the first episode is called Echoes, and it appears to be Vex themed. Now we should have plenty of content released in June. Got a new destination, a new raid, plus we got the episode 1 Echoes content as well. So my expectations for the final shape, they are quite high. So I think Bungie are going to pull this one out of the bag, and to all those doubters out there, I think we could be in for a few good surprises. Well, next up we've got July. So after the excitement of the final shape, then we've got the come down in July, and we're likely to get the second event of the year, and that is our summer event, and that is Solstice. I would imagine we're going to get a similar event to what we've seen in the past few years with Solstice, so I would expect the European aerial zone and also some nice armour too. Well, next up we've got August. So previously we would have seen a new season release in August, but given episodes are 3 times per year rather than seasons that we see 4 times per year, that means we're not likely to see any new content per se. There is a chance we're going to see what is coming next from Destiny 2 in terms of a major expansion. You know, right now we know about the final shape, and we know that we've got 3 episodes coming. However, what happens after that we really don't know. Bungie have been on a 12 to 15 month cycle for major expansions over the last few years, so if we're going to get another one, then this could be the time to announce it and show us what they have been cooking. Normally they'll do something around Gamescom time, which is in August. We're just going to have to wait and see, but do you think we're going to see another expansion from Destiny 2? Let me know in the comments what you think. Well, next up we've got September, and September marks the 10-year anniversary of the Destiny franchise, as that released back in 2014, so I would imagine Bungie are definitely going to mark this some way, and hopefully in the game. This could be similar to the 30th anniversary content drop, where we saw the introduction of the Grasp of Avarice dungeon. Now, I do hope we get to celebrate in-game, and I can see Bungie dropping some content to mark the first 10 years of Destiny. Well, next up we've got October, and October is likely the time we're going to see Episode 2, and this one looks like it is centered around Fickrel and the Scorn. So we've potentially got a dungeon release here, but also maybe even Wrath of the Machine brought into Destiny 2. Now, I was thinking the Destiny 2 team could replace the Splicer Fallen with Scorn, and that would tie in thematically with Episode 2. However, that may be a lot of work, but I do think we are going to see the final Destiny 1 raid come into Destiny 2 in 2024, and we're also likely to see Festival of the Lost, our traditional Halloween event, though I'd imagine it's going to be similar to previous years, so my expectations are definitely in check for this event. Well, finally then, we've got November and December, and I think the only thing that we've got planned at the moment is the Dawning, but I would imagine Bungie definitely has some other things up their sleeve for those months as we go into the winter. Well, that is pretty much it for what we know right now, so alongside the content drops, we're likely to get plenty of balancing and sandbox updates to tune Destiny 2. Bungie will take a pass at lesser used exotics and try to bring them back into the fold as they always do. But this is just a list of what we know about today. Hopefully we get some new dungeon content, exotic missions, updates to the existing exotic mission rotator. Now we've got the seasonal model as well, that really needs a revamp. So the way that we interact with episodes is hopefully going to be very different to what we see with seasons today. The seasonal model is tired and so are players, and one of the selling points of episodes is they can be interacted in a standalone manner rather than having to follow a full year of story content. Well, let me know in the comments what you think about Destiny 2 in 2024 and what you would like to see, but that is it for this look today at what to expect in Destiny 2 in 2024. And as always, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button down below, it really helps me out. You can also like the video too, so hit that like button down below the video there on YouTube. Really helps support the channel. And let me know what you think. I would love to hear what you think about what is coming in Destiny 2 in 2024. Let me know how you feel about the game. I know there's a lot of opinions out there at the minute, and expectations are pretty low going into the final shape. But I am feeling pretty positive. I'm looking forward to the final shape, and I'd really like to hear what you think. Well, that is it for the video today. Thanks again for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you real soon.